Tom Brady, now in the Fox broadcast booth, as we all know, as a color analyst on the A team with Kevin Burkhardt. He called Ravens Cowboys earlier this season. And every single week, he gives out some Stars Awards. This week, Lamar Jackson led the way. Star number 1 of week 10 after, of course, a stellar performance in a win, a thrilling win over the Cincinnati Bengals. Baltimore is 7-3 and can take over control of the AFC North with a win over the Steelers in Pittsburgh this upcoming weekend. Tom, though, looks back before we look ahead.
Exciting week of games, and these are my 3 stars of the week. First, Lamar Jackson versus Cincinnati. How do you stop this guy, and how do you stop this Ravens high-powered offense? This was the 3rd time this year Lamar's come in as one of my stars of the week. He has delivered yet another MVP-type performance. He threw for a ton of yards, like 290. He threw for 4 touchdowns. There were no picks. This guy had a thrilling Thursday night win over the Bengals. Lamar was on fire in the 4th quarter. He threw 3 TDs in the 4th quarter and a perfect passer rating. Let's see if Lamar and the Ravens offense can keep rolling when they take on a very tough Steelers D this week.
Tom, always talking so highly of Lamar Jackson, who he infamously referred to as "you're next" before his first retirement, if I'm getting those correctly. And Tom, you heard what he said. How do you stop this guy? Feels like everybody, especially opposing defensive coordinators, have been asking that very question for years. Marcus Spears, former Raven, of course now an ESPN analyst, had a whole lot to say on this very topic when it comes to the legacy of Lamar Jackson.
It's about Mahomes. I've said this about LeBron James. I've said this about Aaron Donald. We cannot get fatigued when we watching greatness actually happen in real time. And right now, family, like, we have to take a second and pause and respect what Lamar Jackson is doing as the quarterback of the Baltimore Ravens and how he's playing the position and the level in which he's playing the position. See, we had this thing in media when we talk or wax poetic about a quarterback, we have to mention other quarterbacks. I'm not going to do that. I'm sticking directly to Lamar Jackson and what he is doing as of right now during this season. Lamar Jackson has thrown for 2,669 yards. He has 24 touchdowns to 2 interceptions and a 76.9 QBR. I just want to say that again, 2,669 yards, 24 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, and a 76.9 QBR. That ain't his legs. See, I'm abreast to all the narratives. I don't even want to call myself being a Lamar defender. I just watch football and I watch players play football. And I've thought and have said this publicly that when Lamar Jackson is on the field, he's the best football player on the field. Now he's starting to be the best quarterback on the field and in the entire league. And there is no question about it that he is right now the best quarterback in the National Football League. And I'm not talking about overall. I'm talking about right now, today, as we sit here. And since this season has started, he's on his way to winning his 3rd MVP. And I get it because I'm one of them. Swag, show me the Super Bowl, and then we can start having phenomenal conversations about Lamar Jackson. I'm not going to do that yet, y'all. I'm going to talk about his play and his ability right now today. And his play and his ability right now today can win him a Super Bowl. Lamar Jackson right now, when you watch him play, there's an expectation that he's going to be great. And you only get in that conversation from consistency. And
he's been a whole lot of that and more throughout the course of this season, of course. And as we learned Earlier today, for the third time this year, MV3 is yet again named AFC Offensive Player of the Week. 4 touchdowns, 290 passing yards, a passer rating of 141.4, chipped in 33 rushing yards on top of that because why not? But you heard what Marcus Spears had to say. I've said this about Patrick Mahomes, LeBron James, Aaron Donald. We cannot get fatigued when we're watching greatness actually happen in real time. And right now, we have to take a second and pause and respect what Lamar Jackson is doing. Good Lord. Shout it from the rooftops. Swagoo.
Level of consistency that we've seen from Lamar Jackson, it is worthy of taking a pause and realizing that we are watching history. What I care about is you are on your way for a third time being named the most valuable player in the National Football League amongst the best football players the world has to offer. I'm gonna take that in for a minute, man. I'm going to choose to respect and admire and realize that we witnessing something in this league that we haven't seen before with Lamar on his way to winning the third MVP. I don't think it's going to fall apart. I will say it with my full chest that Lamar Jackson is going to win his third most valuable player award. And I get it. We don't play this game for individual accolades. He will even tell you it means nothing until I win a Super Bowl. I vehemently disagree with Lamar Jackson about it not meaning anything. Right now, 6 players in the history of the league, 6 players have won 3 MVPs, 3 or more. Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, Brett Favre, Jim Brown, Johnny Unitas. Lamar Jackson is going to be the 7th name added to that list.
And he is more than well on his way to achieving exactly that. Fantastic stuff from Marcus Spears, who spent a little bit of time over his years in Baltimore as well before retirement. And of course, getting into his blossoming ESPN career. The most total points in the NFL entering week 11. A comfortable margin between first and second on this list. But it's been first and second for a while, definitely since they first met up a few weeks back. The Ravens, 318, lead the way league-wide. The Washington Commanders and rookie quarterback Jaden Daniels with 290. They are tied for second with Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills. But look at what MV3 has been up to. He's posted a 100-plus passer rating in 8 straight games. He's the 4th QB in NFL history with a 100-plus passer rating in at least 8 straight games within a season. And he joins Tom Brady in 07 and 10, Peyton Manning in 04 and 05, and Aaron Rodgers in 11 and 20, who accomplished the feat twice in their Hall of Fame careers. You can pretty much put it in ink that Canton jacket is already being made for Lamar Jackson. He will be a Hall of Famer. But where in Canton is he still chasing after in terms of where he hopes to one day sit? James Jones of the facility, former NFL wide receiver, I thought did a good job of explaining what table Lamar is still gunning for.
Yeah, right now Lamar's in the room because his gold jacket is already getting fitted, dog.
Of course.
He's a 2-time MVP. If he decided to stop playing today, he's walking into the room.
Yes, sir.
But he's standing up. Can't sit here, dog. He ain't won a championship yet. Can't sit here. Now, you're walking into there. You got your gold jacket on. What up, my people? I see y'all over there. You're walking in, but he cannot sit down yet. He needs a championship to put a stamp on his Hall of Fame career, and he can sit down at those tables. Right now, he's walking into the room because he's a 2-time MVP already. He is going into the Hall of Fame. One unanimous. Cannot take that away from him. One of the greatest players we've ever seen in the National Football League. That is what we're watching from Lamar Jackson. One of the greatest players we've seen in the National Football League. Not of this era, not whenever the NFL started. Lamar Jackson is one of the greatest players to ever lace them cleats up right now as we speak. He's walking into the Hall of Fame. But to sit with these Tom Brady's, to sit with these Aaron Rodgers, to sit with these Joe Montanas, to sit with these Patty Mahomes, he has to put a stamp on it to win a championship. And I agree, legacy-wise, it's a bunch of quarterbacks out there that want to be Lamar Jackson. And before Michael Vick and Lamar Jackson, a scrambling quarterback, and all that can run, we don't want him, right? He ain't going to win you a championship. He has a chance to change all that, and I think he is going to be the one to change all that. But he needs a championship to put a stamp on his Hall of Fame career, to walk into that building and say, pull my seat up.
And you know what? He understands that, which is why he downplays the significance of it, what he refers to, and I think a lot of people refer to, as an individual award. The most valuable player, sure, it takes a team to achieve that individualized award, but it only goes to one man. And the fact that Lamar is well on pace and maybe even well out in front of getting after his third this year, I don't expect him to waver whatsoever in terms of the coverage or his reaction or the way in which he views receiving those types of awards. He downplays it. He's looking at the bigger picture. And the bigger picture has a Lombardi written all over it. And he's been chasing it since the second he was drafted 32nd overall back in 2018 by the Baltimore Ravens.